Should I make it one of those like clickbaity titles? It's like, how much money do YouTubers make?
Yeah.
Or how much money I make on YouTube?
Yeah.
This is like a first time for everything because I've never had anyone sit and just watch me film. And I've never been completely in my PJs and just woke up and started filming. Hey everyone, it's Jaclyn and welcome back to another episode of Face Mask with Jack. Now I have not done one of these in quite some time, but it's basically where I have a good heart-to-heart with you guys. We talk about whatever topic it is. Today we're going to talk about questions about like being a YouTuber and making that your job and just kind of all those things that I think everyone wonders if you're planning on starting a YouTube channel or if you just watch a bunch of YouTubers. I know for me, I watched YouTube for like 5 or 6 years before I actually started my YouTube channel, and for me I was always like, I had so many questions but I had no one to ask. I obviously didn't know any YouTubers and I really just had no idea how to get started. And it's kind of weird because I feel like no one ever really talks about all this stuff and there's no place to go to learn it. There's no school for you. Actually, there is a YouTube space, but they don't teach you all this stuff. So yeah, I asked you guys what you wanted to know and you guys sent in some tweets and questions. Oh, and one more thing. I have a big gap of my tooth missing. If you follow me on Instagram stories or Snapchat, you would have seen me rant about this. I chipped my tooth. I'm actually getting a veneer made to fix it and go over top. But for the time being, I have a little nub, a little thing. So if it looks a little funny, that's what's going on. That's gonna be the preface of every single video for the next couple of weeks, so be prepared for that one. Anyways, to the questions. Okay, I think we should just start big with the question about money, because everyone wants to know how YouTubers make money. And everything that I'm gonna be talking about is just from my own experience. I've obviously only been doing this for a few years. I'm not like the queen of YouTube. I don't know everything. I'm just learning as I go. But the big question everyone wants to know that everyone always asks me, even in my real life, is how do you make money? And I'm not gonna sit here and like pull up my invoices and show you how much I make because that's a personal thing. But basically how YouTubers make money. So there's AdSense. So before you see a video, there's those ads that come up that are annoying that you wanna skip. That is one way that YouTube pays out YouTubers. It's called Google AdSense. Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of like the basic way that people get paid. But from my experience and talking to other friends now who do YouTube, a lot of money comes in from sponsorships, which is when you collaborate with a brand to either do a video. I mean, in my case, I mainly do a lot of beauty stuff. So if it's like a new product and I'm super excited about it, then I'll work with a brand on it and we'll do a video together or some type of content. And content is a word that I feel like everyone always like says, but basically content could be like YouTube content, so a video, an Instagram post, a tweet, things like that, any social media stuff that is promoting something. So that's one way. You could do crowdfunding. So some people do like, oh my god, what's it called? Oh, Patreon. There's GoFundMes for certain types of projects, things like that. YouTubers can get paid to host events, to attend certain like conferences or different functions, or to host things, to do interviews, anything like that. There's honestly so many different ways. Oh, merch is a huge one as well. Those are, I think, all the ones off the top of my head, at least that I'm familiar with. But yeah, there's a bunch of different avenues that you can make money. The main ones though, I would say being just like straight up sponsorships, but everyone obviously is a little different. And in terms of like how much money you're making, again, that is such a big gap. There would be no point in me even saying a number because I think it also depends to what genre that you are in. Like if you're in the beauty world, in the gaming world, like there's not even any number that would make sense logically for me to say because it's just, it depends on so many things.
All right, so somebody tweeted out, how do you find sponsorships to do?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it's again different for everyone how you find sponsorships. I know for me, just like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. I would have like my business email in my description because I saw everyone else doing that. And then eventually brands just kind of started reaching out to me with opportunities. And I mean, I think that's kind of the ideal way to do it because you can get the idea presented to you and then you're like, wait, I love this company. Yeah, let's talk about working together. Or you can be like, no, that's not my thing. And I think you know right away too, like you have an initial gut feeling when you have a brand approach you. You're like, this doesn't make sense for me. I can't take this. Or you're like, oh my God, I love this brand. And it's like a really natural fit. And those are always the ones that I say yes to. If it's a brand that I've loved and used for years, it's like, yeah, no question. I love your stuff. This is a dream come true. But yeah, I mean, I know people that like send out emails to brands and pitch like ideas, which I think is really smart too. So someone asked, what's the best thing about being a YouTuber? I guess the best thing is that it doesn't feel like a job. And actually, I guess that can kind of be like misconstrued. I mean, it definitely is work and there's a big time commitment. I think that's a big misconception. People think it's like, oh, it's nothing. It's like, no, editing videos, filming videos, like that stuff all takes a long time. I don't necessarily think it's the hardest job in the world by any means. But it definitely still is work. And when I say it doesn't feel like work, I mean that because I genuinely love what I do. I love making videos and I love being creative. And I was making videos like as a kid. When I had like free time, I would like we made music videos together.
Oh yes, we did.
I actually think I have some on like my iMovie on my old iMac. That would be a fun video, just going through my old like videos. Obviously that I never posted because I was like 11. But I just think nowadays I'm so used to people like saying, oh, I hate my job, or oh, it's Monday, I don't want to go to work, I hate my job. And I'm kind of like, I feel very fortunate to be able to say I love what I do, and that's what I mean when I say it doesn't feel like work, because I'm so used to people saying that they hate their job, and I love what I do. So, but the best thing honestly is probably like getting to meet you guys and just all the amazing people that I get to meet. It's honestly so like humbling and like genuinely makes me want to cry out of happiness when I meet you guys, and you guys just like, I don't know, tell me about yourselves. And like, it's just, I think honestly on like the bare minimum level, what I want to do is just like connect to people, and this platform and making videos allows me to do that, and that's just amazing. And yeah, I mean, another great thing about like what I do, I feel very lucky that I get to have so many unique experiences and do get to meet so many cool and interesting people and people that I admire and look up to. Yeah, I feel very lucky. There's a lot of opportunities that I never would have thought I would have. And sometimes I'm like, I'm literally just 19 years old. I don't know what I'm doing. Why are people letting me do all this cool stuff? But yeah, I don't know. I feel very lucky.
All right, so you talked about the best things. What are the worst things?
The worst things. I think a lot of people always think that YouTubers are always like busy, social, out all the time, doing all these fun things. And I mean, maybe they are. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. But speaking for myself, like, I am very isolated a lot of the times. I mean, a lot of you guys just see like me on Instagram stories or on Instagram and Snapchat, just like out and about and doing things. And it's like, yeah, I post those things because it looks like I'm having fun and I'm having fun and I'm out. But that's like once or twice a week. Like, I honestly am at my house a lot of the time. I film in my bedroom. I work from home. And a lot of the times I'm sitting in an empty house, not talking to anyone all day, just editing on my computer or doing emails. And it's not as much of a social thing as what people think. So yeah, I think that's probably like the biggest downside, is that it's just kind of isolating, I guess. I want to like itch my nose. I can feel it like slowly lifting off. We're on a time crunch. How long? Like, we've got 10 minutes before this thing has to come off. I can feel it. It's like getting stiff.
I think it's making my
Your face looks red.
Yeah, I think I'm having a reaction.
Ooh, face mask with Jack gone wrong. There's a new clickbait title, yeah. Face mask burns off skin. Awful, scary, with pictures. Oh, this is a good one. Someone said, how long did it take you to get over what people think about you? Honestly, I think the great thing about YouTube is that it teaches you to have thick skin. Fortunately, I've always been like a very confident, like, I don't care what people think about me kind of person. But obviously when I had that first video that I was going to post, I was like, what are my friends going to think about me? Am I going to be like really weird? Like, is my family going to see this? And it was like, I think at first, because it's just like out of the norm to be like, oh, I'm posting this video. And like, I think that nowadays it's more normal. Like, who doesn't have a YouTube channel? Who doesn't, you know, do that? But at the time I was kind of like, oh my God, are people going to think I'm weird? But then literally once I made that first video live, I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I'm doing my thing. I'm excited about it. And every time I would post another video, it just got easier and easier. There's definitely still times when I'm posting something that I'm either really excited about or like I'm really nervous about, or that I just like, I poured a lot of my heart and soul into, and when you post it, you're like, oh, I just hope people like it. That sounds so sad. I just hope people like me. But I think always what I want to do is just like make a video or some type of content that people enjoy or makes them feel something, hopefully something good. But yeah, I mean, there's always that little thing that you're like, oh, I hope people like it. That's always going to be there, but you just can't let that like rule what you're doing. I think if you stop creating what you want to create just because other people are saying negative things about you, that's when like it doesn't become fun anymore. And I mean, obviously I always really value what you guys have to say in your feedback, but ultimately if I don't want to make a video or if I don't want to talk about something, like I'm not going to do that. I've always said from the beginning, I want to make videos that I would sit down and watch, and that's been my goal. And if I have fun filming them and making them, then hopefully someone else will enjoy watching them. And that's kind of like the core. Like, if I can't do that, then what am I doing, you know? There's lots of questions coming up about like gear and what camera you need and stuff like that. I've actually been thinking about doing a video all about like how I film this, because I know you were even interested to see like this setup. Is this like what you expected?
Kind of. I mean, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot of lights that you can't see.
But yeah, no, I definitely would like to see that video. I think that's a good idea.
You would watch?
I would
Thumbs up, comment, subscribe. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, about gear, what I would say starting out that I wish I knew is don't spend a lot of money on gear. Like, I think if you have an iPhone or a phone that shoots in high quality, just use that. Like, literally go in front of a window or where there's good lighting. Lighting is very key. And like I said, when I started, I had no experience like editing videos, really shooting videos. I just like would film. I'm like, that does not look good. Let me change that. And I just like, it was touch and go, you know? Is that the saying? Touch and go?
Trial and error, touch and go.
Trial and error. Okay, you guys know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, okay. So my advice, if you know nothing about this stuff like I did when I was starting, go in front of a window. Make sure it's not like direct sunlight where there's like shadows, but it's like, you know, like a good overcast day that it's just like illuminating you. And then set your camera up. I would use your back camera if you have an iPhone because that's higher quality. Set that up, maybe put a mirror behind it so you can kind of see what's going on, and just shoot a video on that, edit on iMovie or whatever basic editing program you have, and just post it and go from there. For me, when I started out, I had such high expectations. I was like, I would watch like Zoella's videos. I'm like, oh, it looks so beautiful, and like, I want mine to look like that. And I'm like, well, you know what? This is my first video. You have to expect that it's not gonna be your best work, especially when you're learning. And I think that's kind of cool too. Like, I can look back at my first video and be like, wow, that lighting was so bad. I'm talking in like some high pitch, like, hey everyone, it's Jaclyn. And it's like, what was I doing? Like, you're creating this illusion of what you think your video should look like versus just doing it. But I think it's really cool that you can see the evolution and how you've grown over the years. And that's why I never want to private my videos either, because I think it's important for you guys to be able to see, and for myself to look back and to see that progression. I think it's kind of cool. Like, yes, it's embarrassing. There are some videos that I'm like, oh gosh, I wish I knew what eyebrows were. Like, what was I doing? But I think it's interesting, and I'm never gonna delete those. And yeah, I guess just kind of touching on some like final advice. I think you just really gotta put yourself out there and just go for it. And yeah, I mean, I think with YouTube too, no one's gonna tell you to hustle or to work harder. That's one thing that I have learned, is that since I do everything on my own, there's no one there like watching over your shoulder being like, post another video, work harder, make this better, do this. And it has to all come from within. And fortunately, I've always been a very self-motivated person, and I'm fine working on my own, but you're the only person that's gonna look out for yourself the best. So do that. Like, be on top of yourself. And yeah, something that I kind of came to terms with, I forget who said it. I was like watching some interview and someone was like, you know what, I'm never gonna be the best at this, at what I'm doing. There's always gonna be someone better. But the one thing that I can do is work my hardest, and that's literally all I can do. And for some reason that just has always stuck with me, and I've like realized, you know what, I'm not gonna be the best at this, I'm not gonna be the best editor, I'm not gonna be the prettiest at this, I'm not gonna be the whatever, but all I can do is be my personal best and work my hardest. And I think if you do pour your heart and soul into something and you're passionate about something and you work hard, you will be successful with whatever that means to you. I think though a lot of the times it's hustle and how hard you work. That's what gets people places. I mean, sure, talent, luck, timing, all of those things have a factor, but a large portion of it is if you're a hard-working person and if you're a nice person and just kind. And I think that ultimately, I mean, not just specific to YouTube, but with anything in life, that's what you should focus on doing. And yeah, I think that kind of covers it all. I feel like this got very deep, but yeah, I mean, if you guys have any other questions about like YouTube or how things work, feel free to leave them down below. I'll do my best to get to them and answer to as many of them as I can. So leave a comment down below about what you want the topic for the next Face Mask with Jack to be. I will leave the playlist up above if you need to catch up on previous Face Mask with Jacks. Oh, this is so good right now. Anyways, thanks guys so much for watching. Woo! Subscribe, leave a comment down below, thumbs up. What do all the YouTubers say? Am I saying all the things? Anyways, oh, that's still sticky there. Anyways, thanks guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is very fun for me to film, and I will see you guys soon. Bye! Honestly, putting on the wetsuit was a struggle like on its own, so I don't really know. We're just getting so spoiled. I don't understand how I'm here and how this is happening. Are you kidding me? Are these new night